Jim and I both have been RVing for a little over 2 years now,
Yep.
and we're going to share exactly what we have learned right now. So welcome back. I am Dr. Dave, the RV dummy, along with my good friend Jim Summers.
How's everybody
here.
going?
What's going on? Jim, it's been 2+ years. We've given a tour of your Class C.
Yeah.
We've talked about Class B versus Class C. Now what we're going to do, RV, we're going to do a little RV chat, and it's going to be, we're going to talk about some of the things that you and I have both learned in 2+ years. Now, 2+ years is certainly not a long time, relatively speaking. A lot of people have been RVing for 20 to 30 years.
Exactly.
We're fairly new on the spectrum.
Relatively, yep.
But relatively, right. But that's right. Spectrum. You're not supposed to say the spectrum. We're not really on the spectrum, right? I mean, but well, we can say whatever we want. It's my show. But
absolutely.
I've got about, I don't know how many you. I've got about 5 things that I want to mention that I've learned that I wish I would have known about RVing before I started. But I'm going to reveal them. I don't know. You have a few, so
yeah.
How about, since I have 5, I'll start.
Why don't you start us off?
I'll start, and we will feel free to banter about each one.
Absolutely.
So the first thing I learned about RVing is, and I think you're going to agree with me here, and this is for people that don't have one yet or want to get a new one. Understand exactly what you want to be getting before you get it.
Oh, yeah.
Understand what you want to be buying. There's so many different types of RVs out there. You know, you got your A's, your B's, your C's, your D's, your E, travel trailers.
This isn't getting a flight of beers and trying 5 things out at once. It's a big commitment, so yeah, do your research, definitely.
I mean, I have to admit, Jim, when I first got my very first Class B RV, which was my first RV to begin with, I went online. I looked at the pictures. The guy was actually nice enough to do a little video tour of it.
Oh, yeah.
But I said, I'll take it. I didn't sit in it. I never saw it in person. I never drove it.
We did the same thing.
And okay, so now what I did, I had a friend of mine. I didn't even go pick it up to buy it. A friend of mine, I gave him the money. He went to pick it up for me. He drove it across the country. The first time I saw it is when I owned it, and it was in my driveway. First time. There's no takebacks.
Yeah, exactly.
You make a mistake, you're done. So do I think that was a wise way to do it? Would I ever do that again, buying it sight unseen? No. What I know now, no way. Yeah. I would get in. I would first of all, I would do all my research. I would get in. Once I found one that I thought was good, I would get in. I would test drive it. If it's a A, B, or C. If it's a travel trailer, I probably would test tow it. I'm guessing.
You could take it for a test drive, sure, absolutely.
Why not? You could. Why not?
It's a big investment.
But not only would I test drive it and make sure all the things we've talked about in the past, we've talked about how, it's comfortable if you're driving, if you drive straight, if when a truck passes you, do you like go all the way over, like to the right, to the shoulder. Yeah. So those things are all really important. But I would also make sure I knew enough about RVs to check over and make sure the stuff was working, make sure it looked good, make sure, look around, make sure there are no leaks. Yeah. But I didn't know that when I first bought mine. I didn't know it. So I couldn't check it. And I think I got killed on a little bit of it. Yeah,
us too. Our guy, he was from Georgia, and actually the person who drove it up, we didn't even know. It was one of their people.
Oh, you didn't even know who was driving it? Oh.
And they did deliver it, and it was pretty much like the videos.
Right.
He said he did like a 20-point check thing.
They won't get the 20-point check thing.
I don't feel like he did anything. I feel like he just turned around and sent it up to us, which is fine, but it was okay, but I would never do it again. I would never do it again.
But here's a question. When it came into your driveway, were there things that you noticed when you first got it there that you think you would have picked up on if you were there live buying it, or you would not have picked up on those things?
If I went in and saw the same thing, I probably would have bought it anyway.
Okay, so
but I still feel like I got lucky. Okay. Like it could have been, because once they drove it all the way up from Georgia to New Jersey, I think you're stuck.
You can't just say, I changed my mind. I don't want this. Take it back.
Yeah. So I still feel like we got lucky, and I don't think I would do it again. I'd want to see it.
But
very important.
You want to see it. So okay, that's my number one. Make sure you know exactly what you're buying. And not only that, but make sure you know what you want, because again, there are different classes out there.
Yeah.
What do you want a big bus? Do you want something that's smaller, like a Class B? I didn't really know, and I think I lucked into the Class B lifestyle because I could have found myself in a fifth wheel, and
you don't know.
I'm not so sure I would have wanted that. I'm not so sure, but before you know, you don't know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's your first? What's yours? What have you learned in 2+ years of RVing, Jim?
Well, know what you're looking for. Know where you want to go. You know, where you're going to stay. You're going to stay at a campground. You want to stay at wineries, which is, you know, that's a big thing. There's wineries you can stay at, or you know, farms, elks clubs, and things like that. Know where you want to go, and know what you want. Know how much you want to bring with you. You know. Other things, I don't know. The equipment, there's a lot of equipment that goes.
Well, let's get back to that one you just said for a second, because that happened to be coincidentally. We didn't really talk about these words. That kind of happened to be my number 2, because I framed it a little bit differently. They're different styles of RVing.
Yeah,
so you
absolutely.
said, and it's basically what you said. Know where you want to go, because we've talked about. Okay, some people like to get a really big rig, and what they do, they drive it into a campground, pay them several $1,000s, and keep it there for the whole season.
Oh yeah,
they're seasonal. That's one. Absolutely, that's one style. There's nothing wrong with that. No, neither of us do that. There's nothing wrong with it, but that's a style. Yeah. There's another style, whereas you know you just kind of drive around and maybe go to some local campgrounds and hang out and meet people there and have some parties. That's another style. Yeah. Another style would be you're truly going longer distances. You know, we've had ours all across the country and back, and stayed at different places, and so you know what you want, like what you want it for.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's very important. That, which is kind of coincidental to yours. Exactly. They're different styles. Know what you want to do with it.
And coincidental to life. You know, any decision you're making, any big purchases or something you want to pursue, know what it is that you want. It's important.
I like that.
Yeah.
Well, you know, it's interesting that you said that too, because I found that like there's a parallel between like RVing and life in general.
Fair, yeah.
You know what I mean? There really is a parallel. So and I can't think of anything right off the top of my head. Well, okay, one thing, I'm going to reveal the next thing I learned, and it is kind of like a parallel. I learned when I got into RVing, it's okay to slow down. Slow down. Don't rush. Don't go fast on the road. It means more than don't go fast on the road. It means don't cram too many activities, too many things into one time frame. Just take your time, go slow, and it's a parallel to life.
It is.
You know, why are we trying to do so many things in our life, and we're rushed?
Why is everybody
anxious?
rushing? Yeah.
Why is everybody on you know, drugs and antidepressants and all kind of, because we're like overstimulated. Too much going on.
Slow down, relax.
Slow down, relax. Yeah. RVing is a great way to actually.
Absolutely.
Better than any kind of drug. It's get into RVing and you automatically kind of just, hey, take it easy. This is fun. Hey, look at the trees over there, Jim. Yeah. Look at the grass. Yeah. It's beautiful. Look at that river. Yeah. There's no river. There's no river. I'm just kidding. There's no river.
That's one of the first things I noticed when driving Vanessa, our first rig, is I found I was driving the speed limit or slower, and I was like, wait, but just go on by. It's okay. You go where you need to go, but you know, I want to take my time. You know, I'm no hurry. It's an RV like feeling.
It's so true. I love going the speed limit, and I feel good about it. Maybe even a mile or two under, depending on what it is. The speed limit's 70. Yeah. I'm not going 70. Yeah. I'm relaxing. And I'll tell you something. If somebody behind me has a problem, so be it. I'm not going to be I'm not the first problem they had. I won't be the last. Yep. Go around me when you can safely. Yep. I'm enjoying life, and I'm not stressed out.
Exactly.
So there.
Yep. Slow down. Enjoy the road. Enjoy the ride.
Enjoy the ride. Enjoy life. Yep. What's your next one? Do you have anything?
Ooh, balancing things, you know? Well, in RVs in general, when you're driving, everything we're going to say here, it seems, is going to be a parallel with life. But you might have to make a sudden stop, and you don't want any projectiles behind you, especially if it's your own baggage, okay? So organize stuff back there, because chances are, we just talked about, we don't go fast. We don't floor it. We're not racing anybody. So things aren't going to be flying backwards. They're going to be flying at you. So watch out for your baggage. You don't want projectiles back there. And again, are we talking about RVs or are we talking about life? Same thing.
I'm trying to actually organize my life more by having less things. And
oh my God.
And RVing, I think, set the stage for that.
I think I'm going to make that my number 3, because my list stopped at 2.
That's okay. Well, I said as we go, we're just going to come up with them, because RVing kind of almost not forces, that's not the right word, but it does. Helps you become more minimalistic, because you know something, there used to be a time when I would take like even a weekend trip, I'd carry like a couple of heavy suitcases with me.
All the stuff. Yeah.
We don't need stuff. No. Now we go out on a trip, whether I'm actually going somewhere or in the RV, I literally bring one extra pair of underwear, maybe, if I'm lucky.
Yeah.
A couple pair of socks.
You can always do laundry. You can always stop at Walmart, buy new or whatever. You don't need a lot.
We don't need stuff.
Nope.
And that's a heck of a parallel with life.
Absolutely.
We don't need all this stuff in our life.
Nope.
It doesn't make us happy.
That doesn't mean you can't have stuff. Just make sure it's something that you want with you. You know, not just stuff because you want to buy it or think you need it.
Some people think that buying more stuff makes them happier. And have you ever felt that that's true? Makes you happier? Maybe.
Certain things, but there's been a lot of things I bought like, and it just sits there. You know, it's like I never use it.
If that's the case, it stresses you out more because you got to have a place to keep it. You got to. It's just stuff. You're not. That's even worse.
I know.
Man, so that's a good one. So it really helps you organize, like you said, and become a little more minimalistic as well. I love that.
Yeah, and that's a parallel. I'm a musician. I don't know if your following knows this, but that happened to me like 20 years ago when I just started out. I wanted to buy like all kinds of gear, all kinds of neat stuff, and now I'm just the opposite. I just want to bring as little as possible to a show. I mean, the less the better.
I think you just need to bring one guitar and that's it.
I know.
But you don't play guitar. That's the only problem.
Exactly. So I don't even have to worry about that. But it's opposite, and I maybe that's part of growing a little. At least for me, you don't need all this stuff.
You know what else I learned? It's a little bit similar to we don't need a lot of stuff. I learned that it's in an RV, especially, it's okay to relax. It's totally okay to relax. I used to feel that unless I like accomplished all this stuff during the day, it was a wasted day. Yeah. Now I feel like, hey, I give myself permission to relax and maybe do nothing during the day.
Yeah.
It's such a great feeling. Meditation is really, really helpful to your body, to your mind. Mm-hmm. And you know why?
Well, I'm sure you have something lined up.
Well, I mean, the main reason is because you're totally relaxing your mind. You're like clearing your mind of all the junk.
Yeah, all the junk. Yep.
It's relaxing. So relaxing is kind of like an extension of meditation almost. It's like you're not thinking a whole lot of stuff. You're just doing what I said, relaxing. That's it.
And that's what we say, sometimes, oh, what do you do all weekend? When people ask us and stuff, it's like, it kind of forces you to do nothing, And sometimes we get all our errands done, get it out of the way so we could take a 3-day weekend or maybe even a 4-day weekend. And then you get there and you don't have to do anything. You have to worry. It forces you to just relax.
Right.
So that's a big one. Yeah. I'm stealing your list. I'll take that as my number 4 too.
They're both of ours because we both learned kind of the same thing in the 2+ years.
But we do have that. We say that almost every time. It forces you to do nothing or take a walk or, and look at the blue sky, things like that,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what else I've got? I've got one here. And it's interesting. I want to see, we didn't talk about these ahead of time. I want to see if you agree with this one or not. I feel that the drive, when you're RVing, we're enjoying camping right now, but there's always the driving part, getting somewhere.
Yeah.
I found the driving part is not necessarily the most fun part, but it's a means to get you from point A to point B.
Yeah.
Now it can be fun, but it also it can be, let's face it, if you're driving through a crowded place at rush hour traffic and it's not fun.
It's not always fun.
If you're driving through, I try not to do this, but driving through like a blizzard or like a hailstorm or wind and rain, it's not fun.
Not as much fun.
And I pull over in extreme bad weather. I pull over, but my point is, I think the actual stopping and camping and seeing and experiencing and talking, I think that's much more rewarding to me than the actual act of driving the rig, I think.
But there is just a little to balance that off. I think everybody will have a different, but if you get like a good hour, maybe 2 hours, there's a certain, because you want to feel like you're getting away. And that doesn't mean you can't have a great campground like half hour away or something, but you want that feeling of getting away. I do enjoy that.
That's very true.
But it's not proportional. It doesn't mean you have to go like 12 hours to get away. You can go 2 hours to get away.
True. Yeah.
But you want that feeling that you're getting away for us, and probably for others,
Yeah. When Yoko and I drive on longer trips, we drive, let's say from Utah back to the East Coast or from the East Coast all the way down to South Florida. So it's a lot of driving, but what we'll do is we'll split it up into many, we're not the type that have to drive like 10 to 12 hours in a day. We got to get there. We got to get there. No, we will actually enjoy the ride and then drive maybe, 4 or 5 hours a day, but then enjoy sitting down for a nice lunch, getting to the destination. Or the destination might not be the final destination, but we enjoy every destination.
Yeah. And we agree with that. Exactly. Your number too. Like I'm agreeing with your number as well, that, you know, when you're going a longer distance, we don't try to do more than about 5 hours a day because it gets to be too much.
That seems to be the max.
Yeah. And then you want to get in early, get set up, explore, you know. Yeah. So if you want to stay local, it doesn't have to be far. If you're going on a long trip, you know, you don't have to push 12 hours out in a day.
I wouldn't push 12. Now, I know you're the sole driver. You do. I
do the driving.
So here's how Yoko and I work it. So like, let's say we go on Google Maps and we got a 5-hour day ahead of us. And it's like, let's say it's 9 or 10 o'clock. We're ready to roll out. So generally the way we'll do it is I'll drive the first 2 hours, like very easily, pretty much nonstop. And then we'll probably take a stop at a you know, to go to the bathroom or at a truck stop to get gas or something like that. Then Yoko will maybe take the next 2 hours. So that gives me like a 2-hour break. And then after that, there's only 1 more hour for me to drive. And when we're there, it's actually really easy. Yeah. Really easy. Yeah. But some people might be thinking, well, if that's so easy, why don't you push it and do more? Because we don't want to. We don't want to. Yeah. We don't want to. We could go further. We just don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah. And being the sole driver, I find that it depends. You know, if it's nice country roads, you know, I could do more. But again, we don't want to. And sometimes there's traffic out there. My tolerance has gone down for that, you know, so I get like cranky after about 5 hours. It's time to, you know, come into a campground or wherever you're going to stay that night and just unwind and, you know, settle in for the night.
We talked about that a little bit earlier. We're just kind of sitting around the campfire before, but our tolerance, well, okay, there are people, when you're in an RV, you're probably going a little bit slower than you would if you were in a car. Yeah. I agree. So, I mean, I do. Because we're driving a big machine, and I just don't want to take it too fast. But, so there are going to be the idiots out there that either are tailgating you or they think they can, like, pass you and then cut you off to get back in the lane.
Happens all the time.
It does, but I've learned, so another thing RVing has taught me is that, you know something, whatever it is, they're probably angry people. I do not let it bother me. I don't it doesn't affect my driving. Like, if somebody's telling me, I don't say, oh, I better go a lot faster. I do my thing. Yeah. It's their problem. Yeah. And they've got to work with it. You know?
Around.
I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not going 30 miles an hour in interstate. But if the speed limit's 60, I might be going 62, which is still technically breaking the law over the limit, you know?
Exactly. Like, I mean, it's just not enough anymore. Like, I keep it within, you know, the speed limit and 5 over. Which actually, by today's standards, is slow. You know,
by today's standards,
you're that guy.
What does that say about people today? What's going on? I remember when I first got my license. Okay, there was the occasional hotshot that had to tail you and pass you, but today, everybody's in a hurry. Everybody's tailing you. If you're not doing their speed, it's like,
oh, you're in their way. Like, how dare you be on their roads? It seems like.
So why is that though?
I don't know.
What's the change in a couple decades? Why are people so damn aggressive now on the road?
More pressure. It's not as, I don't think life is as simple as it once was, you know?
And that does that change? So that translates. So more people on the road for sure.
For sure.
That translates into you got to be more aggressive to get where you're going.
Some people seem to feel those ones that are cutting in and out, you know, feel like for some reason they have some right to get ahead of everybody. There's those, and then the ones that just need to get where they're going or might be running a little bit late. Everybody's got something going on, and you know, I guess to some extent we should be courteous and just let them go where they need to be.
I never try to get in their way. I let them pass. Like, I wish them well.
Typically, stay to the right as an RVer. You know, occasionally you come up with someone who's going like just entirely too slow, and you're going to go around them, and then there's going to be that guy who's going to be mad at you for going around them. But just deal with us, you know, because we want to go a certain speed too. We eventually want to get somewhere also. But yeah, typically I don't think RVers are in a hurry.
I remember, this goes back to when I was back in school, and so I had a professor, got out of school, driving home on the interstate. I swear there's a true story. And driving along, and in the middle lane, there's this car going like the speed limit. How dare him go? Like, everybody's going, and I'm one of the ones. I'm one of the young guys going much faster. And I see this older guy in the middle lane. Look, he's like driving like this. Like, looks like he's very happy, but he's going the speed limit. I'm thinking, like, it's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, come on. But now, okay, many, many, many years later, I look back at that guy. He was probably living a great life. Sure. Very happy, confident, didn't have to worry about all these other a-holes speeding by him. He's there, going the limit and having a great time.
The limit, basically, it's the law. People seem to forget about that, but it is technically the law. And not just because someone arbitrarily made up laws, but because it's a safer speed for that particular road. Some group of people determine that. But yeah,
It's funny you said that, because being an RVer now, I noticed all of those yellow signs on the exit ramps that say, they say it's not just a suggestion, but it says like 40 miles an hour exit ramp,
35 or 25.
Okay, now in a car you might, exactly. In a car you might be able to get away with going faster. And in an RV, and truckers, we've got to obey those things, or we could turn over.
Yeah, you flip over. Yeah.
So
cars too, by the way, can flip over.
But the cars think they're invincible. Car drivers, they think they're all invincible. It's crazy.
It certainly seems that way.
Crazy. What else? Any parting comments about there's a little rabbit over there. Now, if we were in a jet plane somewhere, flying somewhere on a trip, we wouldn't see the beauty like this. But here we are, relaxed in our RVs. Anything can be our backyard. Anything in North America can be our backyard. And there's a beautiful rabbit that we're enjoying and loving life. So I think it's a great way to end it.
I guess that's it. Yeah, enjoy the little things that life presents for you, and keep RVing, I guess, huh?
Even though we're going to be leaving tomorrow morning this campground, we're going to separate areas. I'll tell you, if you like, I'd love to have you back as an occasional guest, and we can can have like a little series called maybe RV chat, and we just talk about our experiences. I think some people might like that.
Yeah, with technology of today, that's entirely possible, because you're relocating to the other side of the country, basically.
Utah, baby,
awesome.
and you and Andrea are invited to bring your Odyssey out there.
So 6 hours a day. How long will this take us?
6 hours a day. It'll take you. Might take you 5 days.
5 days.
But 5 beautiful days where you stop off at campgrounds at night and you relax.
Absolutely.
It's beautiful. So you're going to come out and see it. I was going to say one more thing, Jim. I totally forgot. I know what I was going to say. So you, subscriber, viewer, friend, listeners, whatever you may be, everybody out there in YouTube land, if you like what you saw, if you want me to do more with my buddy Jim, if you want to see more RV chat, comment below, like the video. The more feedback we get, the more we hear from you, the better chance he'll have coming back. Otherwise, we might have to say, you're fired.
Jim,
you're fired. You're gone.
You're out.
So let's hear the comments. We won't do this every time, but occasionally I'll bring Jim on as a guest. We'll do some RV chat. Let me know how you like it.
It's been a good time.
Talk to you next time. Love you. Really do. See you.